I want to be cat.
All right. So slope from table, what all this is a table is a different way to display our x and y data, right? Our ordered pairs. So over here, write x. Over here, write y. Here's our list of x's. Here's our list of y's. And if you look at them together, right, you have all of these ordered pairs. So next to this, I want you to write that. An ordered pair of 4, 9. And an ordered pair of 5, 12. And Tatum, I remember you had this question earlier. How many points do we need to draw a line? You remember? 2, right? So these are 2 points, right? In order, you need 2 numbers to draw a point. You need 2 points to draw a line, right? So these are just ordered pairs. Do we need all these numbers to do slope?
Yes.
No, we don't. Right? You can tell by the tenor of my voice. We don't. We only need 2 ordered pairs. So when you're doing a table and you're finding slope, you're going to have a lot of additional information. I like to think of it, you know how some of y'all, whenever we have like a line and we're just finding slope, sometimes there'll be like 3 dots on it and you're like, oh, Mr. Land, what do I do? There's 3 dots instead of 2. Just use 2 of them, right? It's okay if they give you an extra dot there. It could be as many dots as there need. You just need 2 of them. So there's going to be lots of numbers here. You just need 2 numbers. Can y'all find slope from this?
Yeah.
This is x1, y1, x2, y2, right? Our first x, our second x, our first y, our second y. If you can take these ordered pairs from a table, then you've already learned today's lesson. Okay, I'm going to do some examples, so I won't, leave you if you haven't got it yet, but that's it today. So up here, go ahead and write, must label the x and y columns, columns, and rows. Columns/rows. Okay, because we're going to have tables that look like this, and we're going to have tables that look like this. All right, and these are columns, right? You remember that columns are in a building, right? Think of those big columns at on a Greek temple or Parthenon, or like government buildings, which are modeled off those. Those are columns, and then rows. Like a row. I don't know. You're shopping. They're next to each other. X comes before Y. All right, XY, XY. Do not forget. To pair up, they need to be different, right? You need an X and an Y. You can't have an XX. You can't have a YY. An ordered pair has to have one of each, X and a Y. All right, so looking at this table down here that's in a row, right? What is our second Y value? What is our second Y value we're given? -14. Jeremiah. Can always count on you. -14. What is our first Y value? -6. Killing it. Right? So Jeremiah is looking at this row of Y's, right? And he's saying, well, our second one listed is -14. Our first one listed is 6. Our second x value, -2. Our first x value, -4. All there is to it. And there's our slope formula. That's what we can put into our calculator and get our answer from, right? So pull out your calculator. And I'll let y'all solve that. Gesundheit. All right, so we hit alpha, y equals, enter, and then we just type it all in. Negative 14 minus negative 6 over negative 2 minus negative 4. If you're getting an error message, anytime you do this, you're just getting an error message, you probably mistyped a negative and put a minus sign or something like that. Answer should be negative 4. Again, the nice thing about using the calculator is it simplifies it for you too. That's the answer. That's the slope, negative 4. Okay. So up here, label the x and y, know which is which, and then just use the slope formula, which we've already learned. I'm not asking you to memorize it. I'm always going to give it to you. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's it. That equals our m, our slope. Okay. So that's as easy as this is. I'm going to show y'all this calculator function because we're going to use this on another unit. You can use it for this too, but especially unit 3 and 4, so our next units. This might come in handy. So go ahead and grab your calculator, and we're just going to practice typing all this in. Do y'all know where the stat button is? The stat button is right here. You know what that stands for? Statistics. So statistics, very popular field of mathematics. A lot of people do work in statistics. And then we're going to go hit edit. So just hit stat and then enter. All right. What you have here, this L1, L2, L3, it's just lists. So your first list of numbers. Let's put in our x values there. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, oh, sorry. You got to do 4, enter, 5, enter, 6, enter, 7, enter, 8. And then go to list 2, and next to it, 9, 12, and so on. I'll give you all a second to get that in. Give me a thumbs up when you've got it.
What do we go to?
So you're going to hit stat, S-T-A-T,
Is that 10?
and then enter. Is what 10?
After 15.
Oh, look on your paper. We're typing it in from this first list right here. Tatum's. So it's 9, 12, 15, 16, 21. All right. Once you have those numbers in, just hit quit. So to get out of anything, you can hit second and then quit. The calculator has now stored those, so it kind of has them in its memory. And so now what we're going to do is hit stat again. Sorry. And then go to CALC for calculate. And I know we haven't really talked about linear regression and all that stuff, but you're going to hit number 4. Okay, linear regression. It looks like AX plus B. And then hit enter, 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 calculate. You should get this screen. Anyone not get that screen?
What was it again?
All right, let me do it again. So you hit stat, go to calculate, and then go to the 4th item. So linear, it's LINREG, linear regression, and hit enter. Have you gotten here? Enter, 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 enter. So just keep hitting enter until it gives you this. This is really, when we get to this unit, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, we can really do it this way. Yes, you can. And I know this kind of looks like gibberish to you now, but the important part is your slope. Oops. Let me get back to it. Stat, calculate, 4, your slope is 3. So whatever it says A is, that's your slope. Okay? I don't expect you to probably want to do this every time you're finding slope because this is actually faster. But this is another way you can find slope. And what's cool about this is that's one of those formulas I said if you don't have memorized by the end of the year, you have to get a tattoo of on your arm or something. Because y equals mx plus b. Your calculator calls slope a. Some people do that, but we call slope m. Y equals mx plus b is called the slope-intercept form of an equation, and we're going to use that a lot. Okay, so this one, slope equals 3. And if we did our slope formula, it would just be probably easier, honestly. 12 minus 9 over 5 minus 4. 12 minus 9 is 3. 5 minus 4 is 1. There's slope. All right, let's just delete these, cross those out. But I do want you to do at least 2, just so I make sure you know how to do it, and then I'll let you do the worksheet. I had numbers for these. I don't know, I didn't just print them. So we have negative 3 and 4 as our first ordered pair. Negative 5 and 6 as our second ordered pair. I'm going to give you some more, just to throw you off. Do you need more than 2 ordered pairs? No, you don't. And then over here, your first ordered pair is 1 and negative 4. And notice, when I say my first ordered pair, it has to be an x and a y. You can't be a pair unless you're an x and a y. 6, negative 3, 11, negative 2, 16, negative 1. Oops. All right, I want you all to use your slope formula, solve these. I'm going to check it. When I check it, you can fold it and glue it, and then do your worksheet. All right, so our slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is our slope. Okay, so then it's just a question of what is our second y value, right? 6. What's our first y value? y1. We're going to just use these first 2 numbers. Okay, we could use other numbers. We're just going to focus on these because why not? x2 we're going to say is negative 5. And then x1 is negative 3. Make sure these are negatives. Make sure you include your negatives and that you're always subtracting because the formula says to subtract. Okay, that's going to equal 2 over negative 2. So your answer will be negative 1.
I got negative 1.
How though?
Good question.
That's what I'm wondering. All right. Over here, we have our y value is negative 3. That's our second y. Our first y is negative 4. 6 minus 1. Those are our x's. We can just put this exactly as it is into calculator. What you'll get though is 1. Right? Yeah, 1 over 5. Positive 1 over 5. Just make sure it was positive. All right, that's it on the notes.